Hi Spencer, my name's Ainsley. How are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you for asking. So I am one of the human resources assistant in this company. And then as you know, we are looking for a marketing intern here at our company. So I'm just here to interview you and see if you would be a good fit for the candidate. I'm going to be asking you a few questions. Specifically with the questions, I'm going to be asking you about a certain situation, the action, and the result. So if you could be very specific about those, that would be great. And yeah, it should take about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then at the end, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll jump in. So just tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm living in Sandy right now. I got married about a year ago. Currently, I go down to Utah Valley University in Orem, and I'm studying marketing there. About my third year there, and going into business management in my minor. So down there, and then also I'm working as a marketing assistant for Bear River Lodge and a marketing assistant for Sunnyside Corals, which is like a little startup company. And then I'm also a marketing intern for Macy Media. So doing a lot, but I do it because I'm trying to learn as much and just grow and kind of push myself. So it's kind of my mentality towards things is just learn and work as hard as I can to progress rapidly and to help the companies that I'm working for grow as much as possible. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. These next few questions are, like I said before, going to go through just try to give me a specific situation, an action, and a result, and I'll be taking notes.
Okay.
So if you see me writing stuff down, that's why. First question, tell me about a time you showed initiative. What prompted you to get started, and what were the results?
I think the best example of me showing initiative is about a year ago when I decided I was going to get into marketing. I decided that I was going to switch over from physical therapy, which I was going into before, and I just dove in and started learning as much as I could on my own. And after changing jobs, I found myself with an opportunity to reach out to a business owner that I knew, and I asked him if I could help him out with his marketing. And through showing that initiative, I was able to do some contract work for him and help him out with his website, and we were able to increase web traffic by about 105%. So, and that really jump-started my career. So that was an example of initiative that I've shown.
What was the most useful criticism you've ever received from an immediate supervisor? How did you embrace this feedback and achieve a positive result?
So, when I was working for a neighbor as a personal assistant, he has a bunch of deliveries that go out and things, and I was kind of in charge of fulfillment of that. And I made a couple errors on a delivery, and after him talking to me and explaining to me why it's so important to make sure that everything goes out perfect, it's not only the company's name, but it's also his name on the line, and that it should be something that we are proud of. So I took that criticism and I really internalized it, and I made sure to double check and triple check everything and make sure that everything from there on out came out exactly how it was supposed to. I'm happy to say that there wasn't any errors afterwards, so that was really great criticism that I received from him to help me grow.
What do you feel you have to offer above the average employee when it comes to accomplishing your daily responsibilities and goals? Can you share a specific example of this?
Yeah, so I feel like I always go the extra step, that I always try to make things easier on other people and also make the business look better. So I guess a good example of this was when I was working at Jimmy John's and I was a driver there. I was clocking out, done with my shift, and this lady came in that only spoke Spanish, and I'm fluent in Spanish, so nobody else in the working there spoke Spanish. So even though I was clocked out, I jumped on and I helped this lady be able to get her food and to help her have a good experience. And I feel like that's a good example of how I go the extra mile to make sure that everything runs smoothly.
Good. Describe a time when you elevated the level of value you brought to a customer over time. How did you accomplish this?
So I worked at Old Navy as well for a while, and I was in charge of the dressing room sometimes. So a lot of customers would be coming in and out, and as you know, a lot of people like to change clothes, which clothes they're wanting to try on, and find new ones. And so this one customer was particularly unhappy and very picky, and I went out of my way to help her to find the clothes that she's looking for, helped her search the store to find the right sizes, and really make sure everything fit well. And I feel like even though it was a lot of time out of my work schedule to help her, I was able to help her have a good experience and to increase how she felt about the store.
Can you recall a time when you were less than pleased with your performance? What did you do about it?
Yeah, so I think a good example of that is when I was starting out at Sunnyside Corals. I knew really nothing about corals and helping out, and I was supposed to be marketing for them, and I didn't really know anything about it. So our sales were not very good when I was first starting, and so I decided that I needed to really do my own homework and learn a lot and to promote the business. In order to do that, I needed to know more, and so I was able to memorize the name of most of the corals and to do a market research and understand how other people were marketing. And so even though my performance when I first started wasn't the best, my performance has gone a long ways to be able to help the company grow and progress.
Describe your level of competitiveness. Tell me about a specific situation where your competitiveness helped you achieve better results than your peers.
Okay. So on this, I'm very competitive. I've played sports my whole entire life, and something that kind of always I think is a good example of my competitiveness and also my work ethic is my senior year playing baseball. I worked very hard. I stayed after for practices. I put in the extra hours, and just because I wanted to prove to the coaches that I was, good enough to be hitting and to be a very consistent player. And at the end of the season, I was the only person to hit a home run, which is an example of my consistency working at my batting and putting the extra hours. And I felt like it was really just an example of how my hard work paid off. So I feel like that's a great example of that.
Think of an example when one of your customers was not pleased with something you or your team did. What was the situation? How did you recover?
So I think a good example of this is when I was at Jimmy John's again. We have this one customer who called in and was complaining of their sandwich, saying that it was all soggy, and they had done it before, and so we knew that really it probably wasn't the sandwich. It was most likely just them taking advantage of it and wanting another sandwich for free. But as a team and through talking with the managers and stuff, we decided that we're just gonna give them the new sandwich and make sure that they are happy and that they get the food and have a positive memory of the store versus us claiming that they are wrong and just making sure the problem was resolved. And so we quickly delivered their sandwich again and made sure that everything was okay and apologized for any for the bad sandwich before. So yeah.
Give an example of a time when you successfully persuaded your peers to change their minds and follow your recommendations. What was the specific situation and result?
Okay. So last summer, I decided to go to LDS Business College to get a digital marketing certificate. As part of that, one of my classes, we had to create a strategy for a company, and we were working in a group. And one of the people working in that group was a little bit more controlling, and she liked to do stuff in a certain way. And a lot of the group members felt like it was a lot of extra work the way that she was doing it. And so, but every single week we would trade off who was in charge as part of a Scrum, which is a way of conducting business that there's a Scrum Master and people kind of are assigned to different roles to accomplish a goal. Every single week, the leader of the Scrum team would change. But anyways, so last week I was the Scrum Master, and although we had been working on things the way that this one person wanted, and it had been more difficult, I was able to persuade her to see that it might be better just to divide the group into different groups to have us accomplish different goals to later come together and accomplish our one main goal. And that way, by breaking it down and assigning objectives to people, we were able to accomplish the goal and get a good grade and to simplify what we were doing and not overcomplicate it.
Just a couple more questions.
Okay.
Share a time when you were able to directly attribute your probing skills to solve a problem with a difficult customer.
So back at Old Navy, we had a lot of people that sometimes would come up to the cash register and they would scan their item and it would come up as full price or come as a discount or something like that. And so this one day we had a big sale on flip-flops and tank tops, and this lady came through with just a gigantic stack, and only some of our tank tops were on sale and other ones weren't, but they had been mixed. And so when she was scanning them through, not all of them were discounted, and she was not very happy about that, and she was very complacent. And so we talked to her, and we found out, what we could do, what we could help her out with, and if we could, offer her a discount. And because it was our fault that the clothes were mixed and they weren't all categorized in their right spot. So after working with her for about a half hour, we were able to figure out something that would both benefit her and us, and we apologized for our errors, and the customer walked away feeling like she got her fair shake. So
tell me about a time when you identified a new, unusual, or different approach for addressing the problem or task. How did you come to this solution? What was the outcome?
So one of the biggest things I think was just in my application process for Bear River Lodge, I had been submitting a bunch of a bunch of resumes and also my cover letter to a lot of companies, and I wasn't getting a lot of success. And so I decided to be creative and send in a video explaining a little bit of what my strategy would be for that company and who I was. And I was able to get a call back really promptly from them, and with them offering me a job with contingent on a interview. So I went out of my comfort zone and I made a video and I was creative about doing it. And that's one of the things that they liked so much about me, is that I created a new solution to a problem that nobody else had done.
Very cool. So that is the end of all my questions. Just one more kind of close-up question. Why should we be considering you for this position?
I think the biggest thing is just that I am a very creative person and I love to learn and try new things. I think through a lot of the stories that I've been able to share with you, I've shown that I have initiative and that I am able to adapt and to learn new things that can help a business progress and to accomplish new things. And I'm always willing to learn more and go out of my way to make that happen. And I feel like that would be something that could really help your business and that I offer.
Okay. I don't think I need to clarify anything. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, so is there what room is there to grow in this company? Like, is there opportunity for me to progress farther down the road and maybe stay on? Because this is only an internship, but is there opportunity for me to stay on?
Yeah, so like you said, this is just an internship. So obviously, if you were hired to be the intern and you showed enough promise and work and we liked you, there definitely could be room to talk about being with a more permanent position on our marketing team. Again, just dependent on your performance, but most definitely there's room to grow.
Okay. And then what's the culture of the workplace here? Like, do you feel like it's a very open environment, or do people kind of stick to themselves? Like, what's your feel on the workplace here?
I really like it. I myself have been with the company for I think 15 years now.
Wow.
And I felt right at home. I actually started as an intern as well, and I felt immediately welcomed. I don't know if you like ping pong, but we do ping pong tournaments in the office. So definitely that kind of environment. You know, we work hard. We want you to get your work done. But if you need a little break, we are definitely okay with that as well. But yeah, we get along great, but we work hard as well.
Awesome.
So I think you would like it.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
No, it should be it.
Okay. So we have another day of interviews, but we should be able to make our decision by, I'd say, Wednesday. So just kind of look for an email. We'll tell you whether or not you got it regardless.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No. Thank you for taking time to interview me.
Yes, no, thank you for coming in. It was nice to have you and nice to hear more about yourself.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.